All right. Hi. Hello. It's been a while since I've shown my face in a video. I just wanted to kind of bring it back to like the old videos that I've done. If you're newer here, you might have not seen them, but I used to show my face a little bit more in the couple videos that I have done. I believe I'm at 50 now, which is awesome. Today, we are here to discuss Spider-Man 3 and like what I believe the game will kind of cover, just so I have my camera here, right? It's so hard to just straight look at it. So if I just don't look at you, still getting used to it. But yeah, I loved Spider-Man 2 and I wanted to discuss what we're going to see or possibly see in this game. If we're going to get DLC, whatnot. Because there's a lot of questions that I think need to be answered in a DLC, as well as maybe a standalone game, but I'll get to that short. So yeah, I think basically the big elephant in the room is, are we gonna get DLC? I think we should, and I'm mixed about this because, spoiler alert, right? If you please go beat Spider-Man 2, but Miles is taking over, right? He is the main Spider-Man, and this is something I theorized and I got correct. It is now confirmed by the writers. I don't know where it was, but it's something about Twitter, I think. Miles is taking over, and I think it makes sense for him to take over with no big bads in the wind that he knows of, right? When you think about stuff like Chameleon, I think is fine if he's still in the shadows and he doesn't know. But something like Carnage, I don't know, like personally, he deserves to be in the third game, but I don't know if Insomniac would want to do another symbiote-esque story in the third game and instead would want to tackle other story topics, especially since 3 is looking to be so packed because you got Miles, Peter being retired, and some stuff that I think is going to happen. You have Silk, you have Harry needs to be resolved. The Green Goblin's going to come. So which one? Are we going to get both? Are we going to get like the Glider Goblin? Or are we going to get the Monster Goblin? And then of course Octavius. That is the big thing. I'm sure there'll be other like, little villains and such. So yeah, I think I love Carnage. He is my second favorite Spider-Man villain of all time, right behind Mysterio. He's such a good character, but I feel like he will be in a DLC. And why I think this is, personally for me in Spider-Man 3, I don't think you will play as Peter until the very end of the game. And I think this because of many things. I'm going to be going all around, so this is like not organized whatsoever. I'll try to put the time codes in the bottom, whatever. I personally think that in this DLC, it is going to explain and establish Carnage getting his comeuppance, which again, I wish he'd be in the main game, but whatever, as well as possibly getting rid of the anti-venom suit for Peter, because the way the Carnage, the Flame mission ended, right? It seems like that is such a Peter-centric mission. Like, I doubt he would be like, oh yeah, Miles, go be with Yuri and deal with this. I think Peter would want to finish it himself. And I don't think Insomniac would want this Peter to stay with the symbiote abilities. And if you saw from the ending of the game, the anti-venom suit doesn't regenerate. Like it was heavily damaged after fighting Venom. And so I feel like if you take care of Carnage in the DLC, you use what's left of the anti-venom suit to get rid of Carnage. That way there's no more symbiotes. So then, Cassidy and him he's kaput. Chameleon for sure, he's gonna be in the third game as a main antagonist. I think Carnage will be like the main issue for the DLC. So then you finally get the goodbyes from Peter and Yuri, and then Miles steps in completely to be that new Spider-Man. As well as, I think this DLC needs to cover Cindy Moon Silk, establish her into how she gets her abilities, and I do believe we should get one spin-off game before the third. So like how we got with Miles Morales, we should get a Cindy Moon Silk game. I just think it makes more sense in terms of story-wise to not have to like introduce her too much in that third game, and just have her grow on her own. So, she can maybe either get bit, or if she's already bitten, like in the comics, like kind of learn to be under the shoes of Miles or Peter. Or Peter's like, oh, look, this is your mentor now. Bye. And so in that DLC, that'll cover that. And then Cindy will have her own game to establish her as like who she is as a spider person. And then finally in the third game, now like, okay, Cindy's like this, Miles is like this, and this is how they come together to tackle what is to come. So I think that's how that's gonna go. Now, of course, the big elephant in the room is Peter, right? Like, how is this gonna go? I personally think, like I said, I don't think Peter's gonna be playable in that third game until the very end. I think Miles will tackle it with Peter being like, are you sure? But I think once Octavius kind of shows himself to be a big antagonist, and he's probably gonna call for Peter, right? I think in this game, for sure Peter's identity is getting completely outed. He's gonna get outed and he's gonna have to come out and like tackle it. And I'm mixed. On one note, I fully believe the story where Peter sacrifices himself, but then I can also see him retiring into the sunset with MJ, and then them teasing that they're gonna have Mayday, you know, their little baby. If Harry died in this game, Spider-Man 2, I would fully believe that Peter would go into the sunset. But because Harry is still alive, which I am still shocked that they didn't kill him off, that is so interesting. Like, this is just theorizing. This is like off the top of my head. But, you know, let's talk about Goblin. The way they say, you know, the G serum, the way it is said by Norman in Spider-Man 2, it feels like he is gonna use it as a cure. So I could see Harry. It's interesting because like, who would if they're doing both Goblins, which one be? Who would be on the glider? Who would be the monster? They could go the spectacular route and kind of have that Green Goblin-esque to be Harry. Also, I guess TASM 2 vibes as well. And then have, you know, the angry father be the Hulk Beast ultimate, you know, Green Goblin. I definitely think we'll be getting both. Let's just get this out of the way. They are not doing Superior Spider-Man. Like, there's no way. I feel like this third game is gonna tie things up. I don't that dude. That'll be so tragic if they do Superior and they do Peter like that. No, that's horrible. Let's go back to Silk again. This is very disjointed, but whatever. So Silk's abilities, right? So let's say hypothetically they don't get rid of the symbiote abilities and they want to give Peter something else. Originally, if they got rid of the symbiote, I was going to say, or I was thinking while playing the game, like they should give him web constructs, because, you know, make it like Shared Dimensions Spider-Man. Just because like the arms were fine, like the auto arms, but they just didn't hit as much as Miles' Venom abilities, and then also the Venom abilities themselves. But now that you're adding Silk, for sure, like give her that distinct like web construct ability. Maybe the spider shoes, but if they do a different spider bite, because I doubt they'll do the bitten by the same spider. So now we're gonna be attracted, because it's very controversial, especially since this Cindy Moon seems to be like the same age as Miles, so they're, you know, she's a kid. I don't believe they'll be going that route, but I still want that entirely like web suit. Like you can just do that and like not have it be sexual. Like it's simple. It's just clothing but webbing, whatever. So yeah, give her those web constructs like with Shattered Dimensions, Peter, and as well as Edge of Time. Super easy right there. Miles will have his Venom abilities as well. And then Peter, again, like what would Peter do if he is just playable at the end? I don't think he's gonna have the symbiote suit. I think in the DLC he's gonna lose it. I'm telling you, dude, this third game, there has to be a game in the middle. Unless they do DLC and like it is completely like perfect and they tie Cindy Moon in completely and they just establish her, I doubt it. I think they need a little Miles Morales-esque game, but Cindy Moon, Silk. Which, let's talk about that, right? Because if you've seen any of my costume videos, which I'll put either below, or I learned this thing when you can put it on the edge, whatever. You know that I really want, you know, the Spider-Woman designs as a suit, because those are really good designs. I knew they wouldn't do it, so it was just a wild card. But now, if you have Cindy Moon as a character, you can do Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, you can do Spider-Ghost, Spider-Gwen. It's a win-win. Like, it opens up everything. We win. I do think, going back to Silk, this is a very Silk-centered episode, because, I mean, there's so much potential with Silk. I'm so excited. But with Silk, you know, I am so interested. They'll probably do that classic outfit look. But I want to see Insomniac'S take on like their suit. Now, before everyone goes up in arms, yes, it's been confirmed that the Miles suit at the end of the game, you know, the one that people call the toothpaste suit, which I actually do not mind at all. I actually really like it personally, except for like the head. Just fix that, put the hood up, and it's fine. Obviously that's a walking ad, which is unfortunate. However, I would like Miles to have a distinct outfit that is super different from Peter. That is the whole point. People have this really misconception. He already had his, you know, unique outfit. No, he literally, if you really think about it, he took Peter's outfit, but just has like I would say a little bit of a change for the emblems, the webbing, and then color. That's all it is. Because he was in this universe, he's a fan, right? So it makes sense when he said like a one-of-one, like Miles original. And I mean, it's original because people don't like it. So I think it fits Miles. Just fix the headpiece. Make it be, if they really want him to show his hair, they're probably gonna have a different outfit for the next game. But they're gonna keep similar, I think, designs for it. But if they really want to keep the hair out, which I wouldn't do, make it be like that DLC suit that was in like the deluxe edition with the hood up. That way it looks fine. You know, I've been thinking about Doc Ock and how, what if Insomniac continue the mutation Doc Ock boss battle? And what I mean by that, if you really think about it, in Spider-Man games of past, we had Doc Ock and Carnage back in like the PS, I think it was PS1 N64 Spider-Man game, that amazing from Neversoft. Monster Ock, I think was his name. And then in Edge of Time, you had Doc Ock and Anti-Venom combined. What if, here's a wild card theory, they do Green Goblin and Ock combined? I don't know how that would look. I low-key, like, would they do the monster form? I feel like they would have to. Because if it was just Doc Ock on a glider with, like, you know, super strength, adrenaline, actually that would be terrifying, honestly. But then it depends, like, that would take away, there's just, I don't know, I'm putting it out there. I was right, dude. Let's you know, hold on, it's time for shameless plugs. Let's talk about everything I was right with. I was right about the symbiote invasion just days before the game came out, and there was no indication about it. We just knew that Venom was in the game. I think at the time there was like that cutscene of him in the sewers and you see like the null symbol or whatever. I didn't see that, so boom. I got Peter putting up the mantle and Miles taking over. That's two big story beats. And then smaller beats. I'm really happy that I got that Craven suit correct. Again, I'll put the video somewhere. That basically, I wanted, you know, like a Craven suit that you would get because he was one of like the main guys. That's just a small thing. I'm putting it out there. Who knows? Green Goblin Doc Ock. Let's see if it happens. Let's talk about Felicia a bit, right? Because what they did with her is interesting. They got her out of Dodge, and I think they deliberately didn't have her to be there to interact with the symbiote Peter, which I know everyone was like looking forward to, which is interesting. They probably wanted to keep, like, they didn't want to do the whole like, oh, MJ and Peter relationship because of another person, right? I wonder if she's completely done in the story. I hope not. Like, if you've seen the reception from Black Cat in this game, like first of all, her suit is sick. I love the integration of like her fur on her wrists as well as her ankles. I definitely think she should come back if that's in the DLC or whatever. I think for this third game, I think everyone that's been kind of involved should definitely come together, as well as this DLC could possibly, have Daredevil ties. I haven't looked too much into it, but I think on Twitter people found some secret room and there's like something about a Marvel character. I know Matt Murdock got a eviction notice on his building, and then as well as I believe, who was it? I believe one of the directors or something confirmed that like a street level stuff is happening. I'm not too sure, but I mean that would be awesome too. Stuff that I was really wrong about for Spider-Man 2, right? And that is Gwen Stacy. Oh man, she wasn't in it. It doesn't look like they want to tell that story, which is interesting, especially since I think now that Silk is here, which could, I was gonna say it could be a person with Miles, but Miles has, oh, I'm forgetting her name right now, but you know, the deaf artist character. I don't think Insomniac are gonna want to do like the third wheel kind of things or like the relationship stuff. Like they're strictly making people happy, which is great. So, you know, Peter's with MJ. That's not gonna stop. They're gonna have a baby. I'm telling you right now, Mayday's coming. Mayday is coming. Miles is with the artist girl. Silk, huh? Would they? Oh, see, I have this theory. I'm like, what if they do have Gwen, but she's with Silk? Probably not. I doubt it. I'm probably not getting Gwen, even though we're getting Goblin. They could maybe just add her as she's like maybe like the, you know, police chief's. Maybe you save her and she's like the police chief's daughter, like, just so you know she's in the world, but you know she's not killed with like Green Goblin. Let's get that out of the way. Will Mary Jane be in that like Death of Gwen Stacy role for Green Goblin? That is a question. No, I don't think so. There's like no way, if there, because by the end of this game there's gonna be 3 spider people. There's no way like anyone dies. in terms of like humans, right? Now, I don't see it happening. But then would they want there to be like consequences, sacrifices? Who would die? I'll think more about that if like someone will die at the end, but I think for now, what I've said thus far, I think it stands pretty well. And yeah, that was, you know, my grand return to Spider-Man. I'm so happy people have seen my review and thoughts. I'm surprised it got like what, 1.5 thousand views, so really happy with that. I actually did a lot of editing on that video that took like a whole day in just itself, which for me is huge. Again, I'm still like very small creator, but I really enjoy it. I hope for the people who are here for Spider-Man, I hope you're enjoying Spider-Man, as well as please indulge yourself and dig into the Kingdom Hearts content that I am doing. You know, you don't have to like it, but you might. You don't know. Also, it'd be great if I got more views. And then people who have followed me for Kingdom Hearts content, thank you. But also maybe dig into like the Spider-Man stuff, because you never know. Hey. But you know, again, thank you guys so much for watching in general. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as anything in the future. Just so you know, again, I still do plan on doing a battle damage comparison and kind of tier list video for the suits for Spider-Man 2, as well as a suit tier list in general. But I'm gonna wait to see if we get DLC, because I would just rather have it do it all together, and then except for like separate ones. I also would like to wait for like a better computer so I can like record better. Yeah. I gotta think of an outro. I still don't really have an outro, but yeah.